Hey everyone, Tim the Collect Jurassic here, back with another Mattel Jurassic World toy unboxing. Today we're looking at more Epic Attack figures. If you watched my last review, you saw me unbox that Epic Attack Carnotaurus. That was so cool. So I'm very excited to check out Dilophosaurus and this Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor here today. This Walmart exclusive line, Epic Attack, it's just now hitting shelves. I could not find it in my stores for the life of me. So similar to the Carnotaurus, shout out to my friend Greg for sending these to me in the mail. All the way from his state here to Chicago, where they literally don't exist yet. So super glad I could grab them so I can do an awesome review and do some cool comparisons. I really wanted to show you some of the weird sizing with these figures. They're still cool, but the sizes are a little strange. Just wait, you'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into unboxing one of these figures. We'll start with Spitter here, Dilophosaurus. One of the classic Jurassic Park species, right? And the Epic Attack box really does a lot of favors for this figure that's sort of green with not a lot of, different coloration on it. But this box, really makes it pop. We got the background back there. We got Carnotaurus, of course, the Epic Attack logo, all that stuff. The Dino Trackers-esque kind of branding on the sides. In the back, it shows, the action feature on the side with the damage. Looks like if you press it once, you get one effect with lights and sounds, and then if you keep pressing it, you keep getting more. So that's pretty cool. And you got the scan tag back there too, how that works. So that's basically the box for one of these. Let's go ahead and crack it open. Let me grab my little wire cutters here. I think this will be pretty simple to get out of the box here because there's really just a couple things holding it in, unless they've screwed the feet. Nope, they have not screwed the feet in. So it's literally going to be that easy to get Dilophosaurus out. Let's take a look at this thing. This is a hefty figure. Articulation-wise, it looks like we got the standard legs that articulate independently from another, so you can make this guy kind of go low to the ground if you want. Let me see if I can get him. Oop. Already doing that action feature. Get him low to the ground, get him high up to the ground. They kind of had him posed midway in between. Then he's got the arms that are articulated. They go front and back too, it looks like. They can only go so far up because his frill is in the way. And speaking of his frill, it looks like it's fused on. It doesn't bend out or in either which way. Jaw-wise, his jaw is articulated, so you can close that jaw if you want. Give him the close look. He looks very frog-like when you close his mouth. Probably because his mouth is so big. I mean, look how big his mouth is. It's huge. It's super wide, but super detailed. Look at the paint detail on the teeth, and the tongue is all glossy red. I mean, the paint on these is very sparing. They did use it well, though. Have that splash of yellow and red. That's basically the signature Jurassic Park frill on there. It looks really, really nice, though. The figure looks great. Though, look, this side has a speaker, so you can see a speaker on it, and then this side has that that Epic Attack. So if you look at it, you can sort of see an outline, but really you can barely see anything until you press it. I love how it blinks. That's so cool. And they got the Dilophosaurus sound there. It's pulsating. I love how they blink. I mean, that's so cool. They could just turn on and off, but they make them kind of interact with the sound. Really cool. Put it one more time. So yeah, a lot of different sounds there. And of course, then you can go ahead and open and close the mouth. Before I move on, I do want to pop out the scan tag. There's the scan tag, goes right in its tail. Otherwise, it doesn't take up too much room. Just pops in and pops out. But let's do some comparisons with this guy, because if you can tell holding him in my hands, he is a little heftier than your average Dilophosaurus figure. So to kind of really illustrate that point, I'm going to get the, this is a Legacy Collection Dilophosaurus, one of the first ones that came out in Fallen Kingdom. That's basically the standard size of a Mattel core Dilophosaurus. So you can see just how much bigger it is in every way. I mean, the head is huge. Obviously, the dinosaur's much taller. I mean, it's just a much bigger figure. But look how nice they match. They do really complement each other in terms of coloration there. So much bigger figure. And then of course, if you throw I'll go ahead and throw the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus in here, which is kind of almost matches the scale. Honestly, this is almost like an Amber Collection Dilophosaurus without the articulation. Obviously, and the detail, but they're very similarly size. I mean, their heads are basically the same size, more or less. Their frills are certainly, I mean, maybe the frill on the Epic Damage is a little bit bigger. Amber Collection's a longer figure. As far as height goes, they're pretty much the same. I could probably make the Amber Collection Dilophosaurus even taller if I wanted, but honestly, they scale pretty nicely with each other. So if you wanted to put this guy with the Amber Collection, besides the kind of lackluster detail, size-wise, he would actually fit quite well with that. So pretty funny seeing him right next to this standard Dilophosaurus, though. It's crazy how much bigger it is. And I think another great example of that would be a human figure. One of my favorites, the Hammond Collection Alan Grant. Seriously, one of my favorite figures from Mattel of all time. That's why I always use it in these videos, because he's so cool. But yeah, I mean, look how big he is. This is like, I mean, I don't know. I've heard Dilophosauruses get pretty, the like actual scientific version gets pretty large. So maybe this is supposed to be like an adult, but can literally eat his head for breakfast. I mean, this thing is huge. Look at this. Grant can even ride on it like the Gallimimus. So this thing is just a big version of Dilophosaurus. Certainly not to scale with the other core figures we've gotten, which makes it kind of an interesting little release. Because they don't usually break the scale, but I guess, well, they break the scale for like their random Super Colossal and Sound Surge and 12-inch figures, but this is called Epic Attack. I mean, this is comes in the same scale or the same line as the Carnotaurus that was scaled. So it's weird they made these that don't scale at all with the regular line, or if they do, they're really large versions of the dinosaurs that we're used to. So, but yeah, that's kind of it for Dilophosaurus, right? Again, there's just not a lot of articulation going on, but the paint they did apply looks great. Love that action feature, so pretty fun there. Let's go ahead and move on to the Velociraptor. Probably the one I'm most excited about. I don't even really have an affinity for Jurassic Park 3 Raptors like some people have. But I am all about this one because it just looks like a solid figure. Before I pop it out to show you the back of the box, shows the same basic kind of instructions on how to use this dinosaur and the scan tag and all that. So he's popped out of there now. Here is our Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor. Really cool figure. Again, the paint is sparing, but what they did use of it makes it look pretty much like the film design. Articulation wise, it's gonna be like the Dilophosaurus. Legs move so he can, do his call. He can stalk low to the ground. Looks like his tail moves a little bit. Yeah, his tail rotates. The Dilophosaur tail rotate, and I just missed that. Yeah, the tail has a little bit of rotation on these. Sometimes these Mattel figures sort of have it locked in place, but that is not the case with the Velociraptor. He definitely has a little more give, it looks like. So get that in the right place. He also has the arms articulate. He's got way more range with his. That's cool. He's got way more range with his since he doesn't have a frill in the way. And then he should also have the jaw that articulates. So you can close his jaw really nice. Looks like it closes nice and tight on mine, so you don't even see the teeth, which is definitely a classic Raptor look, that JP3 Raptor with the closed mouth. But then, of course, his mouth also opens, like to open just a little, or open it a lot. But he's got the painted teeth and the painted tongue. That just looks really nice. They did a great job for... again, kind of going cheap on other parts of this figure. They really made the head look nice, especially on this Raptor with the blue around his eyes and the red and all that. And then, of course, he has the action feature too. His is very dim, at least the way this figure, a little harder to see, but you can see it pretty well there. So some classic Raptor noises, lots of wounded growls, but I love that classic screech, this one right here. That is just a classic Raptor call right there. So, yeah, scan tag for him before I forget. Pops out basically the exact same place as the Dilophosaurus did. So that's the scan tag for him. We'll put that back. Let's do some comparisons because we certainly have some Jurassic Park 3 Raptors that we can do some comparisons for with this one. Starting off with the just released Hammond Collection version. Let me get him standing up the way I want. It's kind of funny because, again, these are supposed to be the same scale, but you can see just how much taller this Epic Attack version is. It's way taller. Head is... let me see if I can make that obvious. Head is way bigger. I'm holding these equal distance from the camera. It doesn't look crazy big on this view, but trust me, it's bigger. Maybe on this view it looks bigger. So taller figure, even longer figure, definitely taller, definitely a bigger Raptor. But detail wise, they have a lot of the same sensibilities in terms of like the lighter underbelly, the blue around the eyes, the red. I would even say the blue around this one's eye is a little bit more crisply applied and makes it look more like a JP3 Raptor. All the details on this head look way more crisp with like more defined lines versus the Hammond Collection where it's all kind of airbrushed and blurred together. Even the red is just barely on this one where it's nice and obvious on this one. So they both have their strengths and weaknesses, right? I know this Hammond Collection Raptor gets a lot of beef because of its accuracy, but I dig it. But man, seeing this Epic Attack version, which is sort of like a cheaper figure, get the head paint so much nicer and accurate. It's got little quills back here too, not painted, but I mean it looks more like the JP3 Raptor than the premium collector figure, which is kind of crazy considering this thing is, they're the same price, I guess, but this one's meant to be kind of for a different audience that doesn't care about accuracy as much. But here we are holding this really accurate Velociraptor. But does it beat the Hammond or Amber Collection version? I don't think so. This figure, too many collections. This Amber Collection Raptor is just, every time I bring it out for comparisons, it's literally one of the best figures Mattel's ever done. Easily, it's got just tons of paint detail, all that. So it's definitely the superior version of the Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. No one's going to argue there, probably. But how does it scale with the Epic Damage version? Epic Attack, rather. It's much, much bigger. So I do think this figure would have a hard time fitting in with Amber Collection. Dilophosaurus was a perfect fit, but this guy's way, way, way smaller. Not even close, really. So if you put him next to other Amber Collection figures, he's going to look small. He definitely looks like a younger, smaller Raptor, kind of like a teenager next to this Amber Collection version one. So, but they have a lot of the same design sensibilities too. Just again, less paint on the Epic Attack here. But yeah, you can see all three right there. I guess I should do my little all three comparison. Look at that. All three Jurassic Park 3 Raptors we've ever gotten. Looking pretty picture perfect in terms of having consistent styling. You can just see that some have more detail than others and some have more accurate heads than others. So fun little comparison there. And before I end my comparisons, we'll get Grant back on the board here, put him next to the Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. And again, you can just see just how much bigger and beefier this Raptor is compared to the mainline Raptors. It's huge. It's giant. It's like a Utah Raptor with Jurassic Park 3 colors. So big, giant, out-of-scale toy. But if you put the scale aside, both of these guys are awesome in terms of, kind of vibrant paint, and that action feature on both is really, really fun. I'm just a big fan of the this Epic Attack damage feature everywhere. It looks great on all these guys. I just love how it blinks and pulsates and all that stuff. Tons of fun. Can't get enough of it. So this Walmart exclusive line is definitely better than I was probably hoping or dreading, I guess. When they first announced it, I was like, wow, this looks like a lot of cheap toys, rehashes. But getting them in hand, the Carnotaurus totally blew me away. And honestly, this Jurassic Park 3 Raptor is a really fun one for what it is. A little bit out of scale, but the accuracy on it with a little bit of paint makes it a really nice figure. And the Dilophosaurus, I mean, it's a little bit goofy, but who can say no to a classic Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus that even has the accurate noises? Just wish the head was a little bit less gargantuan and maybe some articulation with the frill would have helped. Otherwise, you know, pretty solid figure. These things are $15 at Target, I think, if you can find them on sale. So I think that's totally worth it. And I hope they do more. I know I've seen rumors of a Dimetrodon that's hopefully coming. And then, of course, Epic Damage as a whole. We're still owed the crashed Ford Explorer set that hasn't hit the U.S. yet. And then there's a bigger set coming towards the end of the year. So stay tuned to Collect Jurassic, and I'll definitely be covering previews for that here pretty soon. So I think that's all I got, though, in terms of the review of Dilophosaurus and Velociraptor here. Really cool toys. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about them as much as I like to show them off. And if you like this kind of content, this kind of Jurassic toy reviews, definitely give Collect Jurassic, my YouTube channel, a subscription. I'll be doing a lot more of these this year as more toys come out. So I think that's all I got. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.